Hi Founder fans, Jason here. Welcome to Founder of the Day Trivia Night. It's Friday. We play trivia on Fridays. So let's get to some trivia. Thank you all for coming. While you're here, if you guys want to hit like, that would be fantastic. And if you're new here, definitely subscribe. Play trivia every Friday and talk about the American Revolution almost every other day of the week, except Saturdays. I need a day off. Anyway, let's talk. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, also welcome. But if you are new here, what we're going to do is we are going to play a little trivia game together online to get warmed up. And then we are going to play some trivia cards. See, you guys can guess, see who gets it right, who gets it wrong. And at the end, we do our big wrap-up of the American founders. And we will see how many founders we can get. And we need a whole lot of them. So, anyway, let's continue. Thank you again, guys, for coming. Going to make a quick adjustment here because I just realized I can't see the comments. There we go. How am I supposed to host trivia if I can't see what you guys are saying? Silly me. Anyhoozle, thank you for coming. Hi, Robin. Hi, Misfit. Hi, Tarot. Thank you all for coming. Let's get this back up here. Get back in order. I've been making so many good adjustments to do it right, and I forget the simple things. And I also have a hair on my face, which is very distracting. Anyhoozle, hey, Troy, how's it going? Let's do it. Let's do the Rev War. Anyway, I figured we start with a warm-up question from one of the cards, and then we can go name some founders, then come back to the rest of the cards, then do our big-time wrap-up. So, first question is going to be, what happened here? And it's going to be very hard for you to see, but this is New Jersey that we're talking about right about here. It's Monmouth, New Jersey. Monmouth. I never know how to pronounce it. I usually say Monmouth, just as quick as I can and hope people get it. So, what happened in Monmouth, New Jersey, June 28th, 1778? Let me know. Now, I do know that I am, unfortunately, about 8 seconds ahead of you, so I'm going to stall here while I wait for you guys to put up some answers. I do believe I know what the answer is, and it is. I am correct. It's pretty much as obvious as it sounds. Anyway, what happened that day? A lot of data. Troy coming in with the Battle of Monmouth. Misfit with Lee retired. That's an interesting submission. Now let's see. I think that's long enough. You guys are typing in if you know it. I think the answer is generally the Battle of Monmouth. But let's hear what the card has to say. On this sweltering day, as George Washington's army battled Lieutenant General Charles Cornwallis's British troops in a standoff in the Battle of Monmouth. Again, don't know how to pronounce it. Hi, Historical. Thank you for coming, too. Yeah, Monmouth, the battle there. It says, it references Molly Pitcher. This is fun. Quote, Molly Pitcher repeatedly ran through the melee, delivering water to the wounded and heat-stricken. The name Molly Pitcher was given to many women working on the battle lines. Most helped nurse, cook, and clean, often while facing derision and prejudice. Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth was Mary Ludwig Hayes, who accompanied her husband into battle. As she delivered water, she noticed he had been overcome, either by wounds or by heat, and could no longer man his position. Hayes took his place. Hayes took her place. Oh, took his as in her husband. Okay. Hayes took his place at the cannon and, according to some, lost part of her petticoats, but luckily no limbs, to a British shot. Another Mary Pitcher was Margaret Corbin, who manned the gun at the Battle of Fort Washington in New York in 1776. La-da-da, the Battle of Monmouth is right. Hi, Jeremy. Thank you so much for coming. We are doing fantastic, and this is just a warm-up question. Don't worry. The answer was Battle of Monmouth. I just kept reading because they talked about Molly Pitcher, and Mary Ludwig Hayes is often credited as the Molly Pitcher, but I'm very glad this card pointed out there were a lot of Molly Pitchers in the world. It was kind of a common name for a woman who went above and beyond. And the Pitcher is generally because, as they said in the card, many of the women, the camp followers, would bring water to the men on the fields. I'm glad they mentioned Margaret Corbin specifically, who I usually refer to as Margaret Cochran Corbin, up at Fort Washington, because she knew about the cannons, because sometimes they bring the water for men to drink, but also brought the water to cool down the cannons so they didn't blow people up. Anyhoozle, I hope you enjoyed that that warm-up. Let's continue. So, what we're going to do today, if you're ready, is we are going to name the... Oh, and I got my new button. I can press the button. Oh, wrong one. Oh, spoiler alert. Okay. That was an interview I was doing earlier today with someone named Jessie Sir Filippi. Look for that on Monday. We are talking about the mother of the Schuyler sisters. And this, of course, is the wrong thing. There it is. Big reveal. Let's try this again. Okay, and today we're going to name the signers of the Articles of Confederation. I thought that'd be a little bit of a surprise. It's an 8-minute clip, but I feel like we can get a lot of these names. So, if you're ready, and I'm sure you are, you technically have 7 minutes and 52 seconds because you are 8 seconds behind me, and I've already hit play. So, if you don't mind, why don't you start telling me who you think signed the Articles of Confederation? Now, I know, Misfit, I tricked you. You were expecting the Declaration of Independence, weren't you? I'm a deceiver. Let me know who you think may have signed this. Now, historical coming out with everyone's favorite, Roger Sherman, who, yeah, of course he signed it. He signed absolutely everything in the whole wide world. I'm going to pull it down a little bit. My head's a little bit in the way. Show you as much of it as I can. Hopkins. Okay, Hopkins. Now we're coming in hot. No, Hopkins did not sign this. He did sign the Declaration of Independence, though. Adams. I'm going to type in Adams in general and see if there's more than one. Whammy! That's a 3 for Troy. 3 for. You got not just Samuel Adams, but Andrew Adams, who no one remembers, and Thomas Adams, who just as many people don't remember. Let's see. We've got, oh, I'm missing some names. Nope, I'm up here. We've got Hooper. Nope, no Hooper. Nice. That's definitely a good guess. Hancock. That is a guess right there because he was still hanging around. Now let's see. Reed. Reed with an E. A is not correct. I wonder if that's a hint I'm giving you. Dickinson did sign it for Delaware. He wrote it while he was delegate for Pennsylvania, got kicked out, and it took a very while for the articles to get actually signed. So he got back representing Delaware. Payne, good guess. Morris, got to be one of them. Gouverneur and Robert. Notice Gouverneur Morris signed from New York on this. A few years later, he'd signed the Constitution as a representative from Pennsylvania. Rush, Dr. Benjamin Rush. Nope, he had left. Oh, Misfit, getting the hint. Joseph Reed with 2 E's. Stockton. Oh, good guess. Good guess. I was not sure about that. Now, what's interesting about the Articles of Confederation, Rutledge, probably Rutledge, right? Ledge. Nope, not this one. The Articles of Confederation, so the Declaration of Independence was a bunch of people in the room signed it. There were a few stragglers who came in the next few months and arguably a year or two later who signed the Declaration. But for the most part, the Declaration was signed August 2nd by the people who were there. And the Constitution was signed September 17th by the people who were there. The Articles of Confederation were not signed until their states ratified them. As opposed to the Constitution. And I'm going to make sure I don't miss these names. Carroll. We got a Carroll. Daniel Carroll. Very nice. Hosmer. Yep. Gary. Good guess. Elbridge Gary did sign a lot of stuff. Not the Constitution. Lovell. Oh, Troy. Killing it with Lovell. Matt. Welcome, Matt. I didn't think I see you there yet. Thanks for coming. I think we did try Payne. Didn't work. Stone. Nope. Morton. Just going with the Declaration signer is a good idea. So like I was saying, while I'm waiting for you guys to put in some more names. The Constitution had a bunch of guys sign on the 17th of September, and then it went out for ratification, and then the states ratified it. And that was that. For the Articles of Confederation, no one signed it when it was written. It went to the states for ratification, and after the states ratified it, they sent word to Continental Congress, and whoever the delegate happened to be that was there when it was ratified is the one who signed it. For example, Maryland didn't ratify it, was the last one, and that wasn't until 1781, and it just happened to be the people who were there. So, these people we're naming now weren't necessarily all hanging out in the same room when it happened. Morton, we tried. Smith, always good to guess a Smith. Jonathan Bayard Smith this time, a different Smith. Hall, was he still around for Georgia? Nope, he had gone home. Wentworth, ooh, good one, Troy. Hopkins. Jefferson, that's a great guess. Jefferson was returning home at this point to act. He would soon be governor. Again, like I said, it would take a while for some of these to get signed, although certain people were hanging around. And if you can't see behind my head, we just got both Richard Henry and Francis Lightfoot Lee. Troy, that's another twofer. You got a 3-fer and a 2-fer. Hayward Jr. Yes, Thomas Hayward Jr. Franklin. No, I don't believe. Nope, because Franklin, I was just thinking about him a lot last night, actually. He came home real quick from London. 20 years in London, came home for a year and a half, and went back to Europe for another decade. Let's see. We've got no one from New Jersey. Oh, Drayton. Speaking of New Jersey. Oh, no, Drayton. Oh, that was kind of a hint. It's spelled very similar. He's from South Carolina. Ellery. Now there's a guess. Absolutely. Rhode Island. There's a Declaration signer who's still hanging around a few years later. Let's see. King. Always a good guess. Not this time, though. He would have been younger at this point. He would have just been making, if I'm not mistaken, and I probably am, but I believe King was still making his way up in local Massachusetts politics at the time. Dayton. Now, Misfit, see my hint. Oh. Well, it was a good guess because Dayton, both Elias and Jonathan Dayton were from New Jersey, although Jonathan Dayton was still in his 20s a decade later when he signed the Constitution. So, sorry for tricking you. Floyd, my old favorite, William Floyd. Nope, he had gone home. Pinckney. Bartlett, that's a guess. With two T's? Bartlett. Yes, with two T's. Yes. He had hung around from the Declaration. John Penn, great guess. Excuse me, gross. Like I said, I shot like a 20-minute interview with Jesse, so I'm a little out of it, but look forward to that. Braxton, was Carter Braxton still hanging around? No, he went back home. He's got things to do. Once independence was declared, most of the signers went back home because they were important to their states, and the state was more important than the Continental Congress, which would become clear over the ensuing decade when they just couldn't get anyone to show up. Harrison, I don't believe so. Nope. This is a go. Oh, Livingston, always a good guess. Nope, Livingston. No, there's not a Livingston on this. That's peculiar. Paca, was he hanging out? No. 22 of 48. All right, we have about a minute and a half. So let's see if we can get up to 30. Can we get 8 more people in a minute and a half? Can we? Let's see. We got through a lot of the names. Delaware is a tough one. No, Galloway. I'm sorry to tell you, Galloway. I will type that in. He had, by this point, turned loyalist and fled the states. Again, like I said, Joseph Galloway was kind of a patriot at the beginning. He went to the First Continental Congress. Drayton. I think we did Drayton. And did we do Clark? William or George? Those are George. Come on, George. You know what? I'm gonna type in Williams. There we go. You got one, Robin. I know that's what you were thinking. Oh, Misfit. Okay, said it. Okay, fair enough. We're on the same team here. We're working together. Wolcott. That's a great guess because it is correct. Ooh, can we figure out the last person from Connecticut? Oh, I think I've been talking about him a lot recently. No, I've been talking about Oliver Wolcott recently. There's another Oliver Wilson. That's a great guess right there. Wilson, keep that name in mind for later when we're doing it. Thornton. No. One more. Get a guess in. I'm ahead of you. Thompson. No, that doesn't count, but technically that's right because he was the secretary who would have attested to the original one. These are all good guesses, and I've ended. I'm so sorry that I'm ahead of you by several seconds. Let's take a look at who we didn't get. Francis Dana, who would soon go and serve as the first minister to Russia, though Russia wouldn't recognize him. Samuel Holton, who I can't say much on off the top of my head. John Collins, a relative of a future governor. Henry Marchant, just a merchant. Samuel Huntington. James Duane, an important American founder. Francis Lewis, whose son was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. His son would be a multi-term governor of New York. Morgan Lewis. William Dewar. This gentleman would go bankrupt just after the war ends and almost bankrupt the country, causing the Panic of 1792. One of the wealthiest men in the country lost all his money, as did his friend Robert Morse. Shouldn't invest in land. Ooh, Witherspoon. We were saying Witherspoon a lot last week. Did someone say McKean? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. And you know what? I'm using the actual YouTube thing now, though. I'm going to go check. Maybe they did. I don't know. I can't check all of it. Oh, I missed Mason. That I think I missed. Did I? I don't know. Anyway. Sorry, I ruined everyone's day. Go home. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm supposed to be polite to people when I'm hosting this. John Harvey. Someone wrote Harvey right at the end. Oh, I had already closed off. I'm so sorry. McKean's a good one. Van Dyke, that's an interesting one. Henry Lawrence of the Lawrence family, father of the dude in the play. Yeah, no, I thought I typed in Mason. Did I miss Mason? No, yeah, Mason wasn't an answer. So, I did try Mason. We got stuck on the Jersey Boys. Yeah, John Witherspoon. He is technically from Europe. Nathan Scudder, I think, is the only signer of the Articles who died. I think he was a physician who died in battle. So, he's a really interesting guy. Anyhoozle, that was fun. Thank you for playing. Why don't we pop me back up big? Hi. So, let's do some trivia questions. See who we can guess and what we can do and who we can guess. We already did one of those. Why don't we do, let's get this one out of the way, the Constitution cards. So the Constitution cards, for those of you who have not been here before, these Constitution cards are about the Constitution itself. So some of them are not Revolutionary War specific. As we've learned over the last few weeks, many of them take place in the 20th century, for example, but they're all related to the Constitution itself. So we'll do, we've been throwing them out there anyway. Feel free to answer along with me. I also don't know the answer to this card question, so it's fun for me too. I mean, not that everything we're doing isn't fun, or I probably wouldn't be here doing it. I'm having a great time. You shouldn't look it up. Don't look it up, Misfit. We're on team here. We're playing together. How does the... Oh, question. How does the Constitution prevent... easy for me to say. How does the Constitution protect the inventor of a musical instrument? And if you hear an eerie creaking, that's because a cat just made his way into my room very slowly. So, sorry, it's a ghost. Again, how does the Constitution protect the inventor of a musical instrument? I'm going to wait for someone to come in, so I'm just going to stall for a second. Talk about the Articles of Confederation again. They were signed slowly over a long period of time. Daniel Roberdeau, he built a fort. John Hanson would be president of the Congress. I'm seeing no answers here, so either you guys are typing really long answers or no one's giving answers. So, as I said, it's freedom of speech or expression. Those are good answers. Historical saying patents. Patents is probably right. Historical, in my head, it's a heavy cat. No, just taking its time. It's a very light door. It's actually smaller. I have trouble getting through it. Anyway, I can play my music. Yeah. Anyway, hi Ashley, welcome. We just did a warm-up, named the signers of the articles, and we're just catching up now. So anyone coming in now with Ashley, we're right now trying to figure out how does the Constitution protect the inventor of a musical instrument. And I think historical is right with patents. I was thinking copyright in my mind, but it's going to be patents. So let's see. Constitution gives Congress the right to establish copyright laws and provide patent protection for inventors and authors. So look at that, historical. We were both right. Article 1, Section 8 authorizes Congress to promote, quote, promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discovery. Patents are not limited entirely to new inventions, but can protect inventions that perfect existing items. Thus, for example, in 1849, Charles Christman was granted a patent for a new form of flute that would improve the tone of the instrument, though he did not invent the flute. How many musical instruments have been invented under the Constitution? A lot. I will say, I will drop the card. Ben Franklin invented one beforehand, the glass harmonica, which, if you're not familiar, is essentially, you ever see someone wet their finger and run it around a wine glass and it made that noise? It was kind of like that, but he used a pedal to spin a bunch of different sized glasses and you'd wet your fingers and touch it. And believe it or not, both Mozart and Beethoven wrote songs specifically for Dr. Franklin's glass harmonica. Anyhoozle, I pick up the card I dropped. Okay, so let's ask another question, shall we? We shall. Now, this is from a little bit of a board game. It has 6 questions on it. It is for 7 and up. So there are 2 levels of questions. There's student, which is a little bit easier, and scholar, a little bit harder. We're going to go through them right now, shall we? first of all, and I will note that these questions are all about the war ends is the topic that they have on the top. So the war ends. True or false? True or false? Most major battles occurred during the last 2 years of the war. True or false? Most major battles occurred during the last 2 years of the war. Now, as I'm stalling while you guys write things out, I will stall by saying, got some hair sticking up. Whoopsies. That's what I get. I'm not wearing a hat for a while. I'm trying it out. I think people were coming in and seeing me wear the hat and be like, I don't want to listen to this kid with the hat off. I just look like, I look a little older, but still not so respectable. I don't know. All right, we got answers coming in. I got false, false, true, false, false. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for coming. So I am under the impression, and I don't know the answer, but I'm under the impression it is false. There were a lot of very important battles in the last 2 years, but when I hear major, I think Lexington and Concord, Saratoga, and Yorktown. You know, there are obviously other battles that get in there, but those are the major ones, I would think. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate it. And we're going to go false. Very few occurred during the last 2 years. Well, that's harsh. There were a lot of battles in the last 2 years fought in the South, but they were mostly small skirmishes. So it's hard. They technically, I don't think, count as battles. So while there were tons of them, tons and tons of them, they were smaller, mostly just local militias popping shots at each other. So mostly just supplies. People. Okay, well, I'll read the next question, then I'll read your comments. True or false? During their withdrawal from New York, the British troops burned much of the city to the ground. True or false? During their withdrawal from New York, so after the war, they waited for the treaty to be signed, and after the treaty was signed, the British, who had their army in New York City that they had occupied the entire time, they leave, and Washington triumphantly marches in and takes the city back. True or false? They burned the city to the ground when they left. Let's see. Most of the supplies, people running out. New York last year was a waiting game. There was a lot of waiting around as well, and especially after Yorktown, they literally spent a year and a half just waiting around, giving brevet promotions for people. Coin flips. Okay, so we got a true, we got some falses. Waited till 1814. In 1814, they burned down the United States Capitol or at least the White House in Washington. But at the time, although New York would shortly be the de facto capital, the answer is going to be false. Yeah, just had to check. False. They didn't burn the way out. That would be a war crime and not acceptable and not something honorable from them. Hi, Barbara. Thank you for coming. The city did burn right when the British got there. About a third or so of New York City burned to the ground when they got there. Although, there's no way to know exactly why, but we do know it's not like the British ordered that happen. It seems like it was an accident. If it wasn't, it was probably some of the Patriots running away, even though they were told not to do it. Again, we will never really know what happened. It may have simply been a coincidence that that's when the fire started. Raising the English flag and slicking the pole. I have heard that, Misfit. I never confirmed that story. I should look into that. As you guys see, Misfit said they raised a flag and slicking the pole, and I have heard that, but I don't know for sure. And yes, Jeremy, it was it was New York burned in 1778. I was really under the impression it was 76, but I could be wrong about that. I thought it was right afterward, but I could be misremembering. A convenient accident. Yeah, but the thing is, people blame the British for burning New York, but at the same time, it's like they had just retaken New York and would be there for the following 8 years, and they wanted to keep the Loyalists loyal, and they wanted New York to succeed because they really thought with, the most powerful army in the world, they would win the war. So they really... similar to, at first, they were going to go up and down the coast of New England, burning villages, and they burned one, Falmouth, which ended up being Portland. We now know as Portland, Maine. but they realized, why are we going to burn cities that we're going to want later? Yeah. It started in a brothel. Okay, thank you, historical. Thank you for checking on that. So it was 1778. So I apologize. I was a little bit off. I mean, not that far. Not that long after they, a year and a half. Started in a brothel. Okay, so like, yeah, I have heard that. I've heard several different instances. But let's continue with the questions. It's trivia day. You guys hear me talk all the time. Let's play. Okay. Oh, this is a really tough question. How many years did the war last? Now, that's tough because, well, it depends when you think it started, and it depends when you think it ended. You know, generally, Lexington and Concord is the start of the war. That's pretty much agreed on. There are earlier battles that people, you know, you could say were part of the war, but they weren't. They were preludes to the building war. But then the question becomes, when was the end of it? Was it Yorktown? Was that the end of the war? Or was it when they signed the Treaty of Paris? Or better question, was it when the British evacuated New York City and George Washington triumphantly walked in? These are all technically correct answers. I am seeing some answers I agree with. Matt and Troy with essentially the same answer. I do think the answer is going to be 8 years. I really think it's Yorktown. Yes, 8 years, and they wrote it out instead of giving me the number. 8 years. So, la-di-da, war's won. Whatever the card says, there it is, Ashley, taking the easy way out. Well, now we're going to get to the hard questions. So, let's ask. In what year did British troops finally leave America? So this is related to, again, the same topic. It's, you know, the war ends. When did they finally leave America? And this is a little bit of a trick question. I know what their answer is going to be, but I also know their answer is probably wrong. Excuse me 1 second. They still kept fighting after the months ended. Right, because they had to send word across the ocean for 2.5 months and back. Okay, we're saying 1780, 1783, 87. Okay, 1787, 1784, 1783. Ashley, we're up a dipper. What year did the British troops finally leave America? I believe historical has the right answer with 1784. And I'm going to check. No, 1783. I really thought it elapsed into the following year. No, because Washington went home, basically got home for Christmas, or probably a little bit after, but right about Christmas. And he resigned in late December 1783 is when Washington went to the Continental Congress and resigned his commission. And that was after he actually walked into New York City. I'm a dummy. Whoopsie daisy. There it is, Ashley and Troy. Nailing the hammer on the head. Is not how that saying goes. But the true answer is they didn't leave then. One of the reasons in the 1790s John Jay went to Europe and made the Jay Treaty was because the British were still occupying certain forts that were clearly American territory. And then one of the reasons 40 years later the War of 1812 breaks out, one of the reasons is they were still, mostly because they were impressing soldiers, but they were still occupying some of the forts in the Northwest Territory, and it was, come on, get out of here, guys. Get out of here already. I'm sure the card, thank you, Jeremy, Mr. Galloway, that's very nice of you to say, but I assure you they probably looked this up, and I'm just going off the top of my head, too. I can't memorize everything, I'm going to be honest. They left in late November. Okay, and then they came and then they went right back and resigned his commission. Right, because he wanted to get home because it's been 8 years. I'm over this. Okay. Another great question. How many soldiers in the Continental Army died during the war? Was it 25,000, 250,000, or 2 million? How many soldiers in the Continental Army died during the war? 25,000, 250,000, or 2 million? Well, sorry, Mr. Galloway, that's not one of the answers they're asking. I'm sure you typed that in before I gave mine out. But 25,000, 250,000, or 2 million. Was there an English embassy here immediately after the war, within a few years? Oh, wow. That's a great question. Uh, there wasn't immediately. They left and then sent someone back. And I did take a few years for ambassadors to come. France sent one before the war was over, pretty much right when they got recognized. Sailed back with Silas Deane. And then Spain had one pretty much right when the war was ending. And then, the guy's name escapes me, but there was a guy who came over, at least during the Jefferson administration. He was not treated well. He was treated well by the other ambassadors, but let's not get too off topic. We've got some answers here, either B or C. Okay. Got some people saying 25. Matt, I'm going to round you up to 25 because 20 is not one of the answers. And let's go. I would also assume it's 25,000. Yes, 25,000. Now, they say the Continental Army. That probably includes, to a degree, the militias, too, I would assume, because Washington's army doesn't really exceed 20 to 30,000. Probably 30,000 is where it peaks at one point. So I do believe that includes militias. Last question on this card. The Continental Army remained camped outside Verplancks Point. Let me try this again. The Continental Army remained camped at Verplancks Point outside what city in 1782? What city was the Continental Army camped outside of in 1782? What would I mean? 25,000 a lot. I thought it would have been way worse. Yeah, there were less people there. So, there were about 2.5 million people in the United States. So, the United States at that point. And, so 250,000 is, first of all, 500,000 of those were slaves who weren't fighting in the war. Humongous chunk of the population were women and children. But either way, 250,000 would be, what, an eighth or a tenth of the population? Well, I mean, I guess that's not impossible. Excuse me, but either way. Okay. Were militia considered a part of the Continental Army? Not technically, Ashley. As I like to say here, there were lots of armies. The Continental Army in each individual state had its own militia, which acted independently as its own army. And then you have the Green Mountain Boys of Vermont. There's like George Rogers Clark out west in Kentucky is kind of his own thing over there. And there's a lot of, how do I say, they default to Washington. They all agree to default to Washington. And then there's a term called levies. A levy was a militia group that was loaned out by the state to Washington to serve in another state. Now, if you were in the militia, you did not have to leave your state when they left. Fortunately, most militiamen did because they understood the cause they were fighting for. So, I'm going to go back and answer the question everyone's so patiently waiting. Verplancks Point is outside what city? New York City. See a few correct answers. They didn't really camp at Yorktown. After the British surrendered, they basically marched to New York City. And the British imprisoned themselves in that city awaiting the order. But yeah, New York City, a little bit north. I'm closer to Newburgh. I'm surprised I didn't put Newburgh. But either way, because that's where they were really encamped, where there was the Newburgh conspiracy. Although it's not, today by automobile is not very far outside New York City, but it was back then. Didn't even finish the midnight ride. No. Okay. So 0.1% of the population. Yeah, it's a pretty big chunk. And let's get on with our last question before we do our big old review. Yes, Mr. Galloway, most people did die from disease, and heat stroke was important. As we talked about with Monmouth, more people died from heat stroke than they died from bullet wounds. All right, our last what happened over here question is Newport, Rhode Island. It's August 29th, 1778. What happened in Newport, Rhode Island in 1778? Yeah, Paul Revere, you didn't finish your famous ride, but you finished a bunch of other rides that were super important, including when you broke Joseph Warren's Sheffield resolves to the First Continental Congress and changed the course of American history. Oof. I'm going to crack my back. Sit up straight. That's right. On camera. Sometimes with these long, more laid-back ones, I start slouching and like getting comfortable. No, I can't be comfortable. I'm doing trivia. Anywho, waiting for you guys to tell me what happened in Newport, Rhode Island. And I looked at the answer. I do. Newport, Rhode Island, August 29th, 1778. Take a sip of water. It's easier than you think. It's essentially the same answer as the last what happened here question. Yes, a major battle. Yes, there it is. Troy coming through in Ashley. Yes, the Battle of Newport. I think it's also called the Battle of Rhode Island, Ashley. From time to time. Battle of Newport, Rhode Island's 1st Regiment, composed mostly of black soldiers, free men and slaves who were promised freedom in exchange for their service, distinguished themselves in battle. In February that year, desperate for manpower, Rhode Island, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's not the Battle of Rhode Island. I did confuse the two. I apologize. Oh, thank you, historical. Oh, sorry, it's not coming through so good. But yeah, the Battle of Rhode Island was when John Sullivan lost, and this is the Battle of Newport. I think they pretty much took place in the same area. But yeah, Rhode Island passed a law. They brought in the regiment, Rhode Island's 1st Regiment, fought until 1783 and took heavy casualties, as it was only about 1/3 of its slaves surviving to gain freedom. Rather than fight for the Americans, many blacks were recruited to fight for the British. Neither one really offered them certain safety. Blah, 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 blah. I was guessing name for the battle, to be honest. Yeah, there was a Battle of Rhode Island. When you said it, it just went right through my mind. There was a Battle of Rhode Island. I think that's what Troy was referencing. I'm going to pop it up to make sure. Battle of Rhode Island. As I've said on this channel, I really only started studying the war heavily when I started this channel. I was never too much into the military itself. No, okay, you're right. Battle of Rhode Island, also known as the Battle of Quaker Hill and the Battle of Newport. It was all the same day. So, good. We're all right here. My mistake. Anywhoozy. Now, I did make a very large mistake. I forgot to look up exactly how many we got right last week. So, it is time. We're right on time. 40. So, like, 20 minutes will be right there. Be an hour. Really nailing it this week. But I did forget to look up how many we got right. So, if you'll permit me to waste just a minute of your time and pull up last week's trivia night, we are going to go here. It's going to pull up. I'm going to mute it really quick. So not to destroy my sound, I'm going to... Will it even mute? I don't even know. Okay, muted. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to go all the way to the end where we were. Oh. How many did we get? No, it doesn't want me to go to the end. I'm really screwing it up. Okay, anyway. So, I will pull myself up instead of you just watching me do that. We're going to pull it up here. Make sure you like and subscribe for all this not as properly planned out content that you could possibly want. But I as soon as I hit record, I came on and I was like, I forgot to look up how many we got. So I'm going to pop back over here. We had 152 American founders. Right now, we have 0, as you can see. So, wait, I'm a little bit further ahead of you than I used to be, I think. Let's see, 47, 42, I don't know, it's only about 5 seconds. Well, anyway, okay, sorry, I'm a little distracted. I am a little bit further ahead of you than I thought I was. That's going to be okay, though, because we're going to rock through this. Thank you for hitting like. I am approaching 1,000 subscribers. I know, I'm very excited, Mr. Gatway. Thank you for noticing. We are going to rock. So, why don't now, before I even start hitting start, I'll give you guys a head start. And start naming founders. Start with the big 6, probably. And as soon as I see someone put a founder's name in the comments, I am going to hit go. Because I am surprisingly far ahead of you, I think. It says I'm not, but I'm watching the video on the side, and I haven't even put there. Okay, so now I got this up. Okay. Well. Oh, no, you guys are live. Okay, maybe just my thing's behind. Oh, wow, you guys are going. Holy moly. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'll figure this out one day. Adams, Hamilton, Smith, Bart. Nope. You really want that to work, don't you, Matt? Washington, J, Livingston, Andrews. Interesting. Oh, that was a good one. Franklin. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Hosmer. Bartlett. It's got 2 T's. Madison. Lawrence. Jefferson. Adams. Eller. Oh, we already did Adams. Ellery. Packa. Payne. Oh, Packa. Payne. Monroe. Okay, let's go down. Oh, where's Matthews? Okay. Matthews. Oh, 1 T. Matthews, yes. Lovell. Muhlenberg. Now I'm the one behind. Thatcher, good guess. Thanks for paying attention, Ashley. Thought she was getting the founder of the week with that one. I forgot to mention there is a founder of the week. When someone names him, I will put it up there. Williams. And I see William's son below. Thompson, yes. Rutledge. Floyd, paying attention. Misfit, I appreciate it. Floyd. Oh, man, I got behind. Livingston. Johnston. Thank you, Ashley. Wilson. Oh, whammy. Misfit every time, dude. Whoa. Where is it? Pew, 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 pew. James Wilson, founder of the day. Who was it? Misfit coming back with it, but I gotta catch up to you guys. So we'll brag about how good Misfit did later. Pinckney. Did I type Wilson? Yes. Johnson. Williams. Okay, I think we did that one. Yeah. Reed. Gwinnett. The other Reed. Hopkins. Whipple. Ashley. Williamson. See, wasn't that a good trick to remember it? Williamson. Wait, no. Oh, we did that one. Hopkinson. Oh, Matt, you used the trick. Either way, I'm teaching you guys tricks. Okay, I am a little behind. Okay. Oh, and it shoots down. Okay. Collins. Franklin. Yates. Good guess. Stockton. Lansing. Folsom. Washington. Carroll. Sullivan. Yes, Sullivan was there. Sherman. Yep. Can't forget Sherman. Morris. Can't forget Morris this week. We forgot that name last week. It's not cool. Oh, McKinley. No, he didn't sign it. He was governor of Delaware, right? We discussed earlier this week. Wolcott. Okay. Hall. Sumter. Mackenzie. Interesting guess. For Misfit. Message redacted. McKean. Hancock. Gary. Dean. Jefferson. Oh, got Jefferson. Clark. Sherman. I think we just did. Yes. Parker. Again, it's better to say something twice than not say it at all. You know, if you didn't see someone else write it, don't worried if they did. Dickinson. Dyke. Chase. Okay, good guessing. I caught up. Okay, great. And we're only 4 minutes in. Plenty of time. Thornton. And again, I know you guys aren't doing it, but anyone new here popping in, tell them, just name founders and like and subscribe. And please don't look it up. Because we have been working on this for, what is it, the 3rd or 4th week now we've been doing this? And what was the number I said before? 252 we're trying to break? Okay, we can do it. No, 152. Because there is not 252. Housestone. Now, Ashley, are there other ways to spell that name? Thornton. I think we just did Thornton. Mifflin. Did we do Mifflin? Penn. Huntington. Lee. Woo, that's a whole bunch of people, Troy. Again with Lee. You're getting the big covering multi-names. He's a good one. Harrison. Houston. Yep. And what about Houston? No. Tone. I don't know. Maybe not. There might only be 2 ways to spell Ashley. But there was at least a second one. I was right about that. Langworthy. Henry. Yeah, good one, Barbara. Thank you. Smith. We must have done Smith already. Brown. With. Any other colors? Lawrence. Harrison. White. Zubley. Does he count? No, because it's not okay. Reminding people who might not have been here before, it's not all Continental congressmen. It's only the ones who signed something important, and someone who was an inaugural member of the first session of the House of Representatives or the Senate. So, unfortunately, Zubley did attend the Continental Congress and should probably be an answer here. But again, someone made this, and it was very nice of them to do it. Boone. That's a good guess. I actually talked about Daniel Boone yesterday. I think I told some of you. Crane, good guess. They're going to send me a link and I will share it with you guys. But I was on the what podcast? Kentucky History podcast. So if you like Kentucky history, it's all of Kentucky history. But we were talking a little bit about Daniel Boone yesterday as an American founder. Payne, we did do Bartlett. Nope. I think. Oh, thanks, Lauren. I think we did do Bartlett already. Again, don't worry about it. Please keep saying them twice. It's better to say them twice than not say them at all. So if you didn't see it, which, I mean, there's a lot. I've missed some every week as we've... Wilson? No, Misfit, you already got, like, a prize for Wilson. Push your luck. Hancock? Did we do Hancock? Yeah, we must have. Witherspoon. Thank you for remembering him this time, everyone. Payne. I mean, Ashley. Not Ashley. Misfit, do you want me to... There you go. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Franklin. Yeah, let's cover some of our base. Did we do Franklin? I think we did Jay. Did we do John Jay? Oh, we did. Okay, I thought we didn't. I thought we were going to miss John Jay. What are some other... Okay, we still got pretty much 13 minutes left. Pendleton. Good one. Pendleton. Mansfield. Did I spell right? Is it? Yeah, no. That's an interesting guess, though. There are certainly names going to be on here, Barbara, that I've never heard of. So if it's like everything is fair game. DeWitt. No, that's a very good guess too, because DeWitt was, yeah, common last name became first name of a Clinton. Kent. Boyd. No. Hooper. That's the right answer. Yep, we got a signer in there. Schuyler. Ooh, we're going to learn about Schuyler's on Monday. Just you wait. Schuyler. That's the correct answer. I was just talking to Jesse and we put up for Monday. Just interviewed Jesse Sir Filippi, who works at the Schuyler Mansion in Albany, where Alexander Hamilton got married. And we talk about the mother of the Schuyler sisters. So, Catherine Van Rensselaer Schuyler. Very Gadsden. That's going to be the right answer. For sure. That guy signed the first resistance. Hopkinson. I think we did it anyway. Just making sure. Ellery. Do we do Ellery? I think so. Spate. Good one. Stone. Do we do Stone? There it is, Lauren. Good guess. 103 with 11 minutes left. All right. So we need 49 to get to where we were. See if we can get 171. I don't know. That's a not round number. Sinixon. That's right. I gotta write about that guy because it's a super interesting name. Rush. We are in a rush. Benjamin Rush. Dr. Benjamin Rush. The father of American psychiatry is his fairly unofficial title. Or, no, actually, his picture's on the American Psychiatric Association's logo. So, I mean, a lot of his methods were horrifying. Chase. In hindsight, but he was one of the first people to talk about mental health. Yeah, I should do another video on Rush. He's an extremely interesting person. Very good, an early abolitionist before that term was even really being used. Tucker, yep. Dana, he's in there. Lewis, that's going to be... Oh, it's only one. I thought it would be more than one. Okay, we got Edmund Pendleton. Any more Edmonds? I think, well, did we do that name? You know what? While we're having a hiatus, we can scroll through a little bit. See what we did do. A climber. We're going to need a climber. We got a climber here. There he is. Whammy, right up there. Okay, we're doing, Pennsylvania and Virginia had the most people. That's the hardest. New York and Massachusetts, not too far behind. We're doing really good on New York, though. I know my name's in the way. Let's see. South Carolina, doing pretty good on South Carolina and New Jersey. Oh, we got Braxton. There it is. Another one for Virginia. Maryland, a little barren. Ooh, Connecticut, we're doing really good. Oh, there we go, coming through. Blount, the football players you remembered. Walton, any other football players we're talking about in the past? To be fair, most of the football players have retired now. When I first got them in my head. Walton, I just typed that. Hull, I think we got. Yep. I think we did Lewis. Yeah. Okay. Going through Delaware, doing decent on Delaware. Georgia, wow, we're doing really good on Georgia. Oh, we got some names coming in. We got Huntington. That's a correct answer. Let me make sure I spell it right. Huntington. Did we already do it? We must have already done it. Bland. Bedford. Gunning, Bedford. What a great first name. King. Yes, Troy. Getting it out there. Don't want to miss King. The final Federalist. Again, I'm getting comfortable because we're here. Let's see. In Rhode Island, a little bit barren. Rhode Island's tough. Nope. Another. That's all right, man. Lauren, I think we did do Sherman, but it's better to check. All right, and we're at 8 minutes, so I'm gonna give you guys a gun. Oh, because I said gunning. Good. Remembering gun. Oh, you guys both coming out with gun. Are you guys having a chat in the Discord right now? That's pretty fantastic. What was any other objects or body parts? Keep it clean because those are not answers. Few is definitely the right answer. Okay, let's see. Delaware. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people from Delaware. I see Hughes coming in. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 left. An article signer, a constitution signer, 2 constitution signers, and someone in the first Congress. Oh, Izzard. Great guess, Troy. Of South Carolina. Yes, sir. Armistead. No Armistead. It is a good guess. Because James Armistead was a slave at the time who spied for the Patriots and got his freedom thanks to Marquis de Lafayette. But his owner could definitely have been very wealthy. Lauren with Garland. That's an interesting. That's an interesting guess. Let's see. Oh, we got stone. That's a thing. Any other things? Maybe colors. I know we got at least one color. Okay, we did get Rutledge. That's good to know. Gary? Did we do Gary? Can't forget Gary. Yeah, I got him. Very good. Elbridge. Old Elbridge. Bar. So we're closing in. I do want to... I am going to jump in this time with something. So we did Lawrence, right? And then there's Lawrence. And Lawrence spelled properly. Is there? Or maybe there's not. Lawyer. It's my dad's name. You'd think I could spell Lawrence. No, I guess there's not spelled properly. But there's the other Lawrence. So there's Lawrence and there's Lawrence. But not Lawrence spelled properly like my dad spelled it. Okay. Oh, okay. Brown. I think we got brown. That's what made me remind it. White. Very good. Oh, we must have already gotten white because there's definitely white. Green. Nope. He was a general. He didn't actually serve in the legislative branch. Warren. What about the absence of color? It doesn't technically count as a color. It's the absence of color. Now it's a science channel. What is the absence of color? You guys? Okay, or guess whatever. Okay, Blair. Yeah, fine. Yes, Misfit. Black is the absence of color. I guess we already typed it because I'm pretty sure there's a black in there somewhere. So, bad hint because we didn't need it. But yes, Misfit, black is the absence of color. Whenever someone tells me their favorite color is black, I'm not picky when it comes to grammar, but I am the guy who says it can't be your favorite color. It's technically not a color. Oh, you really want me to try gray? Okay, I'll try it, Matt. Okay. I think we've gotten through all the colors, just so you guys know. Thompson. Do we do Thompson? I don't want to forget him. Yeah, we did get him. Okay, good. Charles Thompson. Technically hired by the Continental Congress and not actually, should not be on this list. Easton. Oh, okay, that would have been interesting. Butler. There were a lot of butlers. All right, got one. All right, 4 minutes left, and we're behind where we were last week. We have 152 last week. We got to get 25 more. So tell me them. It does get tricky because even I don't remember what names we have or have not done. There's one name from New York I want to look up. Yes, we got Hamilton. Okay, I was checking to see if we got Hamilton because that would have been really, really funny. Stone, I think I saw there. And if I'm being honest, like, I probably can't remember anymore either. Stanton. Whoa, good one, Troy. That's a great one. It's a great one. Okay, Virginia. First Continental Congress. President of the First Continental Congress and President of the Second Continental Congress. He has a similar first name to Edmund Pendleton. Bass? No Bass. Bass Pro Shop. I think we did with, which if you noticed, I pronounced correctly this whole time. Trumbull. There it is. It's only one, surprisingly, but Trumbull's a great one. A lot of Trumbull's involved with the war. Again, that would have been one of the son Trumbull's. Daddy Trumbull, Jonathan Trumbull, was governor of Connecticut this whole time, but he would not fall on this list. Law. No, that's a pretty perfect name, though. Murphy. No. There will be some Irish names on there. Scots Irish, I guess they would have called themselves, but not Murphy. Actually, that's a good hint. Where's Delaware? Where's Delaware? Oh, we got McKean. Never mind. Let's see. Connecticut. We are missing only 1, 2, 3, 4 Connecticuters. One from the First Continental Congress. One from the Constitutional Convention that we left early. Your namesake is Scottish. Well, Galloway, like, what's your name, dude? Someone say his last name. Pierce? Owens? No. Dean. Oh, we got Dean. Martin. Again, I'm literally saying, what's Galloway's last name? No, you say it, man. What's your last name? I already gave you Lawrence. I already added one in here, team. I try and stay out of it. Taylor. Good one. Jennifer. These are good ones. Closing in at the end. Again, like, someone has to say it before I type it in. Someone has to type Galloway. Okay, thank you, Misfit. There it is. There's a loyalist. Translates into Spanish. Okay, well, save that for a later date. When we're offline. Let's see. 35. Oof. We're 17 behind where we were. We only got a minute left. Team. It's looking bad for the good guys. I don't know what to tell you. It's not looking great. Henry. Oh, Ludwig. No, he was too low level. That's a good guess, though. Henry. Did we do Henry? Yeah, we got Henry. Cushing. Whammy. That's an answer. Jackson. Coming through. Okay. Oh, 40 seconds. It's not looking good for the good guys this time. That's all right. We'll do better next time. Haynes? No? That's an interesting guess. I think of the underwear immediately, but at the same time, it's like, no, like, that was a person's name. Low. Yes, Low with an E. Nope, just the one Low. Caldwell. Cadwell. I'm going to give you Cadwallader. Cadwallader. Misfit. I think we did Pierce. Cadwallader is the name. Otis. Yes, definitely Otis. Well, Mercy Otis Worden, it was her middle name too. Oh. Didn't get Biddle in time. I'm sorry, Troy. I think Biddle would have been right. Oof! We fell 9 short this time. Still have 58% of 243. Hey, we're not going to get advanced every time. But one day, you give us a few weeks, maybe a few months, we'll get that 242. It's our only goal in life. I will speak for all of us. It is the only thing we expect to accomplish in our entire lives. Randolph was there was an Edmund Randolph also, but Peyton Randolph. Yeah, here's Edmund down here. That's the name I was hinting at before. Harvey, someone said Harvey before. We kind of waste him early. Maybe we do this right off the bat next time, but I'm afraid when people come in, if we're doing this right away, it'll turn stragglers off. Although, we got our nice little group here. So whatever. They can find us through other videos. Well, Lisa left. While I'm doing this, people are always popping in and out. I know this, our particular style of the American Revolution we're enjoying here is not necessarily the way everyone wants to learn it, and I understand that. But again, that's why I took off the hat. try and grow a little cool community, just a little bit. Paige Fitzsimmons, St. Clair. That's I mean, from my perspective, like, just because I find them easier to remember doesn't mean they are. Simon Borum, Ashley. I was thinking about that today while we were doing this. I was like, Ashley. I think it's maybe it's Misfit. I think it's you, Ashley. I think it's Ashley who usually gets Simon Borum, which is, I don't know, a super random one that I personally like. James Duane, an important one. William Dewar. Gorham, Strong. These are ones we've gotten in the past. I mean, I'm just really disappointed in you guys. Oh, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. This is a really super difficult quiz, and it's a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are hanging out, helping me out, doing it with me. Johnny Walker. I think there is a Walker, actually. Oops. Pull you up. Grout, Middleton. Middleton is 2. That's a... Troy, you like the ones that cover 2 names. You remember Middleton for next week, okay? Hart, when I was saying body parts, I was thinking Hart and DeHart. Dayton I think we got Drayton, but not Dayton. No, we didn't get Drayton. We did that earlier. Yeah, we kind of blew some of these names on the articles, unfortunately. Burke is a good one. Tillman is at least one answer. I guess it's only one answer on this. Oliver Ellsworth down here. I was actually hinting at him at the last one. Anderson, Andrews, or Aston. I don't know if any of those would show up here. Bloodworth. What's a Bloodworth? Sorry, too easy. Hopefully one of you remember for next week. Livermore. How long does a liver live more? No, that's not funny. Foster, like Arian Foster, who used to play football back when I first started doing these lists. Which, by the way, Foster is 2. Just right about them. Anyhoozle, I'm gonna bring myself back up here. You know what? I'm gonna hit the button. Oh, hi! Look at that. I learned how to use hotkeys. They're called. I can just dance around, right? Oh, nope. No, again, I messed up before because I only have the interview set up on the hotkeys right now. Anyhoozle. I had fun. Did you have fun? I hope you had fun. Leave me a comment down in the description of this and that, whatever you want from this channel, things you like, things you don't like. If you think I should change the order of how we do things, I added a little bit of trivia at the beginning to warm people up. I thought that would be fun. You guys are all role models and superheroes, in my opinion. So thank you, for spending your Friday night here. Teaching history, no. I did actually just start offering tutoring services and consultations on my website. So if you or anyone you know do need some help, or with the whole plague going on, someone's trying to homeschool some children, need some help with that, I am happy to help. But living in New York, I really appreciate teachers and all they do. It's just not necessarily my particular jam. I'm also not really a morning person, so it would be hard for me to get in the flow. Like, it's nighttime where I am. And most of you are, I'm sure, too. So I'm pretty good at talking about history here. How long has there been a bug on my flag? You guys aren't telling me? I'm under attack back here? You're just letting that happen? Anyway, thank you. not for not telling me. That I will never forgive you for. Thank you guys for coming. This is a lot of fun. I am going Hollywood. I'm learning a lot. Like, I'm excited for you guys. The interview will come out on Monday. I'm excited for you guys to see it because it's not the best thing in the whole world, but like it took me 6 months to learn how to do it. So I'm very, very excited to start the interviews and really get them going because there are a bunch of people I've already talked to, including Jesse, who's coming on Monday, who are, experts in their particular founder. And I think we can really learn a lot from them. And I already appreciate them for coming, even if they haven't come yet. You are hogging the woods. It's funny. We had made the decision not to let people win more than once, but like, how am I supposed to do that when I'm popping up the name? So I'll have to read back through the list and find one that someone else says more than once that they'll remember. Galloway, I just did an interview earlier today that I pre-recorded that will be out on Monday with Jesse Sir Filippi from the Schuyler Mansion in Albany. We're talking about the mother of the Schuyler sisters. So, yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun. Jesse is a wealth of knowledge. I think the interviews are going to be a little bit longer, and while I pre-recorded this one, I do think, as Matt said he would enjoy, and I think a few of you said you'd enjoy, I am going to start doing them live. It's about getting a routine down and like making sure I have people scheduled out, but not too far out to make them wait forever. So, yeah, it's going to be great. And I am going to go now, and what is it? Friday, so that is Peacefield. So I am going to go. I'm going to stop the stream. Thank you all again.